So the topic is mass movement. We also call it as mass wasting. So what do you understand by mass movement or mass wasting? When the particles of the rock material or the layer of the soil, it starts moving downwards because of gravity. So there are n numbers of things which play a certain role in the case of mass movement. It is dependent on the soil or the rock also, whether the soil is weak, whether the soil is strong, then what is the water content over there, whether it is very marshy. So are there any large amount of glaciers deposit on it? So all these things are playing a major impact on the mass movement or mass wasting procedure. So first let us understand what is mass wasting. So mass movement or mass wasting is one and the same. So in this, what happens? It is a downslope movement of loose mixture of soil, land and rock particles by the force of gravity. So all the material when it comes down in a downward direction, because you know the law that whatever is released from the top, that thing is going to come down. Okay, anything from the down, if we put up, still it will go up to a certain limit, and again it is going to return back to the ground. So the gravity of the earth is very high. Anything which is on the top, that is going to come downwards. In the mass movement, the material come down the slope without the aid of transportation medium like running water, ice and wind. So there are lots of mediums through which this particular particles or soil is drained down. So it is basically seen in the hilly areas where the slope is very steep. Okay, so it is mainly many times it is very disastrous because when this kind of things happen, that time there is lot of loss of other trees, human life, and the settlements also. So mass wasting is the movement of rock and soil downslope under the influence of gravity. So there are different examples of mass wasting like rock falls, landslides, slumps, debris. So these are all the examples of mass movement. Now we will see what are the different factors which are responsible for mass movement. So the first factor is relief and slope. That is very much important factor that without a slope, mass wasting cannot happen. So anytime if mass wasting or mass movement occurs, they definitely occur on the sloping areas. There should be a considerable elevation in an area for downslope movement to occur. Such movements will not occur in a plain area. Where there is a flat surface or a plain area, at those places we cannot see any type of mass movement activity undercarried. Okay, it is basically more vulnerable at the hilly and mountainous region where the slopes are very steep and there is high chances of the mass wasting occurrences. Okay, next is gravity. Gravity is the main force which is responsible for mass wasting. So what is gravity? The gravity always pulls anything to the down direction. Okay, so when the force of gravity is high, earth is having lot of gravity, so when the force is high, so it is going to pull everything down. So mass movement are large scale movements on earth's surface that are not accompanied by the moving agents such as river, glacier or ocean wave. So mass movement occur because of slope failure when gravity acts to move the material downwards and the resistance of the slope is not stronger enough. So in the diagram itself you can see that the slope is becoming very steepy. Okay, and the material, there is no resistance in between, there are no trees to stop them, there are no roots to stop the movement. So if there is no friction, if there is no resistance, definitely the mass movement is going to be more stronger. Okay, and when this is happening, the gravity is playing an important role. The gravity makes the material to move and it to come downwards in the down direction. Next is water. Now, water is also playing a role in the mass wasting procedure. Why? Because it is a transportation medium. Okay, so water is also carrying the material which is coming in between it. It carries the material across whatever is coming across to it. Okay, so the water from rainfall or the water from snowfall or the glaciers which gets deposited at the hilly mountains. So even they are having a large impact on the mass wasting or the material which is present on the rock. So water can steep into the soil and rock can increase their weight. So when water is getting inside the soil, then definitely the rock is going to be more heavier because the water it penetrates inside the rock. It percolates inside the rock. So water can reduce the friction along the sliding surface. All these factors increase the chances of material coming down the slope. So because of water, the friction is reduced. It becomes very smooth. It becomes very marshy. And because of that, there is lot of material which can come down very easily. Is weak material and the structures. Now, there are some rocks which get easily broken down. There are some rocks which are very strong, which takes a long time to be weathered. Okay, so it depends on how the material of the rock is. So, some rocks are very weaker and they break easily. So such rocks are more susceptible to the mass wasting. Okay. So these rocks they come down very easily, or the soil which is very loosened, that soil also drains down very fast. So these were all the different types or the things which are playing an immense role in the procedure of mass wasting. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe the channel.